So, you know, you love it when you ask and it is given. So I said to Misa, I said, oh, I love that song, Halo. The lyrics don't quite work in unity. And she's like, oh, I'll take care of that. And she did. Oh. So there's the question, can you embrace your halo? Can you actually embrace your halo? The halo that you are, right? That is the very truth of who you are. In the midst of the darkest nights, in the midst of the joys of life, how aligned are you with the very truth of who you are? It's always a journey, don't get me wrong, right? We have these human experiences that we get caught up in. And in the process of those experiences, we can fall off of our center. We can drop out of that place, that space where we are aware of our divinity, that we are a walking, breathing, moving halo of love and of light and of joy. So it's July, month 7. Do you guys all remember our Whitestone ceremony way back in January? So my Whitestone, the word I heard was aligned. That was the word I heard, clear as a bell, aligned. And the other word that I always hear is joy. And I realized that in my being aligned, that is how I can access my joy, right? That they're absolutely linked together. And that alignment is something that has really been my focus this year. And I like to check in with myself about halfway through the year because we forget. How many people in here remember what's on their Whitestone? How many people? See your hands? Yeah? Okay. So if you don't remember what's on your Whitestone, what are you going to do when you go home today? You're going to go check in on your Whitestone, right? Just to remind yourself, just to check in, to see where you are with the commitment and the agreement that you made with yourself at the very beginning of the year. And I haven't been here for a couple weeks because I'm a women's soccer fanatic. Right? And so I was on vacation, and then that vacation ended up getting extended by another day. I was supposed to be here last Sunday, but guess who was playing the World Cup? Yeah. Right? And as I was watching these women play, not just the U.S. women's team play, but all the teams play, what really kept coming to me over and over and over again was, look how aligned they are. Look at how everything that they are doing is aligned. They are so focused. They are so clear. There is no extraneous anything going on in terms of their training, in terms of how they are showing up. And they're not just aligned within themselves. The power of this particular team this year was that they weren't just aligned with their own understanding of how awesome they might be as a player. That's their unique gift and talent, right? We all have our own unique gifts and talents. For these women, it's being able to move that ball around that field with an incredible incredible athleticism. And they aligned as a team. They aligned together as a team. So if you do follow soccer, you will know that these women weren't playing the way they play when they're not on this team. They allowed themselves to be changed. They allowed things to be different in how they showed up, in terms of strategy, in terms of how they played. This team played in a way that no other U.S. women's soccer team has ever played before. And in that, because they were flexible and they moved and they changed and they shifted and they were able to respond to whatever team they were playing against with a different strategy. Can you feel the resonance in your own life for this? They had a fluidity because they weren't just aligned here, they were aligned with how they connected together. And they were unstoppable. They were unstoppable because of not just this alignment, but the connected alignment that they were standing as. And for me, this is what we're called to be and do in the world. Yes, we believe in unity, that we are everything, right? Within me is universes, is multitudes, to quote Walt Whitman very badly, right? That I contain multitudes, that there is no separation between you and me and you, that we're all this, and yet there's a point of connection that we get to stand in with each other. And when we stand in that point of connection, we are changed, and you are changed, and then the world is changed. And these women changed something fundamental, shifted something in consciousness about what we believe about women, about what we believe about how women can play, about equal pay, all of these things that are shifting consciousness. So it's not just about aligning within, which is awesome, and we spend a lot of time in Unity focused on that, right? Prayer and meditation, as Marty read in the daily word, prayer and meditation, we align within. But there's also this space where we need to align without. We need to be able to navigate whatever is seemingly out here from our understanding of our divinity. So that while life experiences may seem like a roller coaster, we are just steady, right in the midst of it all. We are centered. We are anchored in our core. So for me, that's what it means to align. To align. And what it does mean, too, is that I have to, because I'm going to speak from my own personal experience, choose what is actually supporting my alignment? What is supporting my vision, my dreams, what I'm called to be, how I'm called to be? And in some ways, the invitation is to be ruthless about cutting away the things that don't actually serve your vision. To say no to one thing so that you can more fully say yes to something else. Paring away what does not serve. So, this is an iconic pose right now, right? So this was after the French game. Now, the French were, in a lot of ways, our greatest competition. We were playing on their home field. They're a fabulous team. And if the U.S. was really going to go down, this was going to be the game, right? And Megan Rapinoe scored that goal. And what I love about this, I want everybody to stand up for a second and just do the pose she's doing. Right? Just do the pose she's doing. She's got her feet planted, she's got her arms wide, and there's an effortless, can you feel how effortless this is? Oh, breathe into that. Does it open your heart? Oh, okay, you guys can sit down. So, I don't want to, right? So she did something in this moment that my invitation is that we all do in that moment. She was owning who she is. You could feel that as you stood in that pose, right? Owning who she is. And she was sharing it with the world. Can you feel that too? She was saying, here I am, and here you are with me. Aren't we fabulous? Right? Aren't we fabulous? It's really what she's doing in that moment. It's an invitation to join her in the fabulousness. And that's why this image keeps showing up again and again and again and again and again, because we are called to join her in her fabulousness. She was on the parade in New York City, and she's holding the World Cup, and she looks into Ashlyn Harris's Twitter feed. If you want to watch the girls have fun, check out Ashlyn Harris's Twitter feed. And she's standing there at the thing, and she's like, I deserve this. We deserve this, right? Just clear. It's not arrogance. It's ownership. It's ownership of who she is, of who this team is, of who we all are. Because again, she's not keeping it to herself. She's sharing it with us all. She's saying we are all this. So I don't know how many people caught the ESPY Awards. I really am a women's soccer fanatic, right? So the women won for best team, big surprise, on the ESPYs. But Rob Mendez has no arms, no legs. He was born this way. with a very, very rare disease that like 7 people in the world have. And he grew up wanting to play football, which was clearly not possible. And so he decided that he wanted to coach football. And he won an award because he actually is, so his tagline is, "Who says I can't?" And the call and response is, "Nobody," right? And this is his mantra. And he actually took him 14 years to land a head coaching job. He used to be assistant somewhere. And he led this junior varsity high school team. They're local. They're actually down near San Jose. He led them to victory, right? Led them to victory. And the kids, when they talk about him, this is about being aligned with your purpose. Can you see this? Nothing is going to stand in his way to fulfill his purpose. He doesn't have arms and legs. He has never played the game of football. And yet, he is a coach who is able to bring his kids to victory, to turn a team that was not winning into a team that now is winning. Because he is aligned from within and from without. Even though for 13 years people were telling him, no, 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 you cannot be a head coach. No, no, no. He persevered. And this is what he gets to inspire so many others. Again, he's aligned within and without. So this is a letter, a brief excerpt from a letter from a middle schooler who said, "I admire Rob Mendez because he fights for his heart to win." I love that. Fights for his heart to win. He fights his heart out to teach his football team. His advice is never give up. It's not about winning. It's about what's in your heart. There's a documentary on him. It's a short. It's like you watch him and you think, there's nothing that can stand in my way, because nothing has stood in his way. He is a role model for all of us, because his heart is where he is being guided from. His heart is what he is listening to. His heart is where he has anchored himself. And in that, he says, I can. I can. So he actually says, who could say I can't? We're unity, so we're going to affirm something else here, right? We're going to turn that into an affirmation, which would be, I can. And yet we all know that we say I can't to ourselves a whole lot, don't we? All the ways that we shut down our capacity to truly be aligned, to truly be who we are called to be. So I'm leading a Camino trip. For those of you who don't know, it's a pilgrimage trip. I'm leading a group on the Portuguese route next June. So if you want to join me, there's flyers in the lobby. But this has been something that I have heard in my heart for over 25 years, to lead the Camino, to lead it in Portugal. And this is my year to align. So guess what? I set it in motion. And I have to say, there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, I'm going to walk 150 miles in 12 days. When I was younger, that was no problem. I'm getting older, folks, right? That means I got to get in shape. That means I have to align all of my choices over the next year so that I am supporting my greatest vision. It means I have to get out and walk every day. It means that I have to actually put into actionable practice the thing that my heart's desire is calling out for. And all the ways that we shortchange ourselves, where we say, I can't. We can. We can do anything we set our mind to. We really can. With compassion. I keep telling people, you can take a cab. Like you get tired on the Camino, you can take a cab, right? It is possible to make it work for you. The I can piece. But we do have to make choices. And it does mean we have to say no to some things in order to say yes to to the things that make our hearts sing, to the things that actually bring us joy. I want you to look at, here's it from another angle, right? From another angle, right? And just look at her face, right? Let's stand up again and do this again, right? Because it feels good, right? I want you to be Megan, right? Like, oh, I got this. Say, I can. I can. Do you feel the joy of that? Because that's what gets unleashed. Joy. That's what's waiting in your heart of hearts. That is what is waiting to ignite your life, to set you on fire. All those places and those spaces in your life where you think you're falling asleep, where you're sort of doing the sleepwalking thing, time to wake up. Step out. Step out into whatever is making you uncomfortable. Listen to your heart space and open up your heart. Share it with the world. Dare to shine. That's the catchphrase for this year's World Cup. Dare to shine. Well, I am daring each and every one of you and those who are watching on live stream. I am daring you to shine. Step out. Align yourself with what is yours to be and to do, and choose continually from that space. Shine. Shine so brightly. So let's take this into our time of meditation.